If you're building a media plan in 2025, then here are 5 things that you should have in that media plan and strategy to make sure it aligns with your client's goals. First, you should know the budget. And obviously, this is very important, especially in paid media, right? You need to talk to your client and really understand like what is the budget they're willing to invest, especially when you're dealing with like small to medium sized businesses. Like if you deal with corporate, then it's different because they do give you some sort of documentation that this is the expected budget they'll have, and it gets a bit easier. But if you're dealing with small to medium sized businesses, always ask them what is the budget they're willing to invest, and what are they comfortable with, and based on that you can sort of rearrange the metrics and really create your media plan based on that. So once you have the budget, next is you need to decide what are the campaign channels, right? That is like, are you pushing your ads on Meta, Google, TikTok? And once you have defined that, make sure you clearly define those. Don't just do it like, oh, this is search, this is social. Just define those channels, because the more clarity you provide in the beginning, the more successful your campaign is at the very end, right? So once you have defined those channels, now define the campaign types, right? Like let's say you're doing search, display. So make sure you define them as well. And the fourth thing is you need to really tell like what are the ads you'll be running, right? Like how many ads you'll be running over there, just so that the client has clarity and you also have clarity. Then what you need to mention on your media plan is targeting and schedule. This is very important for you to be really aligned, and also for the client to understand, okay, this is how long the campaign will be running, and this is the expected timeline for us to even prepare any material if they have to. And the last thing, which is really important, is the financials. You need to tell like what will be the CTR, CPC, click-through rate, and what will be the conversions that they will be expecting. And this is important because you need to clearly mention that it is a forecast, and this really helps for the client as well, right? To sort of know, okay, this is what we are expecting from this. But sometimes clients might tell you liable that, hey, you promised this and this may not meet the actual results, because there are 100 verticals, right? 100 different variables. So make sure you write over there that this is a forecast, and it can vary based on the performance that actually happens, right? So once you have all of these things, your media plan is mostly very solid. So let's dive into it. I've added a few tabs, and yeah, I would request you to stay till the end of the video, where I also give a free template for you to download. So here's the media template. Over here you can see there are multiple things that I've mentioned. So this is an extra tab I add just for my clients' references, right? Like what's the research, what is the customer persona, competitor analysis. So they exactly know like we came from a detailed research and that's how we are proposing it. And that's how it should be as well, right? So this is a sample for a student loan company that I did recently. Right, like what's the geography, what's the demographic you'll be targeting, channels, users on that channel, what is the CPM, CPL based on industry standard, and the source. And then like states of preferences, like what exact location is the preference. Usually like if the client doesn't define it, I say more info needed. And let's say, I sent this, we get on a call and then we decide, okay, so these are the states we are targeting, and then I just add it later. Then goal, what is the goal? What is the messaging preference? This you can get all of it from a discovery call and really understand like what their messaging preferences is and add it over here, or go to the website and add it. For them, they didn't really have a proper website, so I haven't added it over here. Then competitor analysis, I would say minimum of 3 to 5 add competitors over here. Add the channels that they are using, what is the campaign type they're using, and what is the messaging you are using, and just add the screenshot. This is very powerful because this gives a exact idea to your client that what are their competitors doing, right? And this is very easy, right? You just need to go to Google Ads Library, Facebook Ads Library, and LinkedIn Ads Library. Like the clients I work with, they work in education, so most of the ads actually run on LinkedIn, so that's why LinkedIn. But wherever your competitors are, just go to that channel and find those ads. And this also builds clients' confidence on you that hey, they know what they're doing, right? And then here you want to define the campaign structure, Meta, LinkedIn, Google Ads. What is the what is the approx targeting you're using, the number of ads, right? Then you want to write over here client, project, to be decided. Then right over here you want to add like the cost, allocation, estimate number of leads. This could be an estimate based on the client says, or based on the budget they set. So you need at least one metric, one approx metric from the client to really calculate this as well. Then you also mentioned the targeting over here. So when the client sees, they know exactly what you're doing. Sometimes the chart is not clearly visible. Then you want to add the placement, right? Like the placement is LinkedIn feed. You won't target any audience network. And this also sparks a further conversation, is like, oh, what is the audience network, right? So you also get opportunity to actually educate clients on this. And then what will be the ad format? Then right, I was saying schedule. Usually schedule is done after like discussion with the client, after you show the media plan. So sometimes initially you can just write to be decided, or you can just write the dates that are expected. Then over here is financials, right? You want to tell them like what's the buying model, the audience size, average frequency, net rate, budget share, cost to client. And honestly, you can get all of these calculations based on industry standards and industry reports that you can either get from WordStream, and there are a lot of other industry benchmark reports that actually get published quite frequently. But I usually prefer using WordStream because they are a lot more reliable. I'll add the link to those reports, sample reports, in the description, and you can see it from there. And they usually tell you like what is the expected cost per lead for this particular industry, which actually gets really powerful, and your focus gets a bit close to what the actual results might be, right? So this is basically the bread and butter of your media plan, right? This particular tab and this particular tab. But for your ease, I've also added a few more things. That is the checklist, right? This is a checklist. When you're launching campaigns, you can just use like campaign name, location, audiences, right? And here your client can also come here and cross check if everything looks aligned. Then going to meta optimization. This is basically an optimization checklist. I usually send it with the media plan just so that it builds confidence of the clients that this is how we optimize. And this is very detailed, right? Like you really look into every small detail and check it off. And you add your notes based on week 1, week 2, week 3, and then at the end you just go to the report and consolidate all of this data that you have analyzed. And make sure you use AI, right? It's not that you have to do it all of it manually, right? You can just write a few insights that actually work on weekly basis, on monthly basis, and then you can just use AI to populate this. It's pretty straightforward if you're familiar with ChatGPT. And if you would like to know more about that, then let me know in the comments. I'll make another video on that. Similar thing for LinkedIn as well. Like this is how we optimize LinkedIn ads. Then same for Google ads as well. Again, very, very detailed, right? And also like a few of these optimization checklists are actually inspired by other videos that I watched on YouTube. So yeah, make sure you check them out as well. I've added those video links in the description as well. So I hope this video adds a lot of value to you, especially when you are starting out and building a media plan for your clients. And yeah, let me know in comments if you want me to create any other video related to any other PPC topics. All right.